Hey everybody, we're back with week 16 in the NFL. And starting off with Thursday, the Rams at the Seahawks. We picked the Rams, and surprisingly, we were wrong. Stafford was 29 of 49 for 457 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks. He's definitely the MVP this year, even if he falls apart the last 2 weeks. Kyren Williams had 23 carries for 70 yards, no touchdowns. The Diva wide receiver had 12 catches for 225 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sam Darnold was 22 of 34 for 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He was sacked 4 times. Kenny Walker III had 11 carries for 100 yards and a touchdown. And JSN had 8 catches for 96 yards and a touchdown. Seattle wins this one in overtime, 38-37. And I just gotta say, it was fun watching all the Rams fans cry about the officiating with what happened last week. But I digress. We had the Eagles at the Commanders. We picked Philly and got it right. Jalen Hurts was 22 of 30 for 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked twice. Barkley had 21 carries for 132 yards and a touchdown. And A.J. Brown had 9 catches for 95 yards, no touchdown. Marcus Mariota was 7 of 14 for 95 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked once. So was Josh Johnson, who came in and went 5 for 9 for 43 yards and a pick. Chris Rodriguez Jr. had 15 carries for 63 yards and a touchdown. And Terry McLaurin had 3 catches for 53 yards, no touchdown. Final score 29-18, Philly. Green Bay at Chicago. We picked Chicago. I think Green Bay needed to win to help Detroit. Not that it mattered in the long run. But Chicago had a crazy comeback from behind victory. Jordan Love started the game. He went 8 for 13 for 77 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. I believe he left with a concussion. And Malik Willis was 9 of 11 for 121 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. He was sacked twice. Emmanuel Wilson had 14 carries for 82 yards, no touchdowns. And Romeo Doubs had 5 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown. And he's pretty much the reason that Chicago got a chance, because Chicago converted. They converted the onside kick because of him. Caleb was 19 of 34 for 250 yards. 2 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks. DeAndre Swift had 13 carries for 58 yards, no touchdowns. And DJ Moore had 5 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown. Final score 22-16, Chicago. Buffalo at Cleveland. We picked Buffalo. We got it right. Josh Allen was 12 of 19 for 130 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked twice. James Cook III had 16 carries for 117 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Khalil Shakir had 4 catches for 34 yards, no touchdowns. Shador Sanders was 20 of 29 for 157 yards. One touchdown, two picks. He was also sacked twice. Corey Bojorquez was 0 for 1. And Dylan Gabriel had a bunch of goose eggs. And he was sacked once. Shador was their leading rusher with 4 carries for 49 yards, no touchdowns. And Travion Williams had 4 catches for 38 yards, no touchdowns. I do believe Myles Garrett is 1 sack away from the record. Final score 23-20, Buffalo. Bengals at the Dolphins. We picked the Bengals, we got it right. Burrow was 25 of 32 for 309 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked twice. Joe Flacco came in. He went 1 for 1 for 4 yards. Chase Brown had 12 carries for 66 yards and a touchdown. And Jamar Chase had 9 catches for 109 yards, no touchdowns. Quinn Ewers was 20 of 30 for 260 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. And Devon Achane had 15 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown. And Jalen Waddle had 5 catches for 72 yards, no touchdowns. Final score, Cincinnati 45, Miami 21. The Chiefs at the Titans without Patrick Mahomes. We picked the Titans and we got it right. And apparently the Chiefs are moving to Kansas in a few years. Gardner Minshew started the game and it was feared that he tore his ACL, but yesterday it came out that he did not. But still knee damage. He went 3 of 8 for 15 yards. No touchdowns, no picks. Chris Oladokun was 11 of 16 for 111 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 4 times. Isaiah Pacheco had 8 carries for 34 yards, no touchdowns. And Xavier Worthy had 2 catches for 41 yards, no touchdowns. My cat is the loudest chewer in the world, if you can hear that. Cam Ward was 21 of 28 for 200. Cam Ward was 21 of 28 for 228 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked twice. Tony Pollard had 21 carries for 102 yards, no touchdowns. And Eric Ayomanor had 3 catches for 58 yards, no touchdowns. Final score 26-9, Titans. The Chargers at the Cowboys. For some reason I picked the Cowboys, and I'm glad I got it wrong. Herbert was 23 of 29 for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, no sacks. Omarion Hampton had 16 carries for 85 yards, 1 touchdown. And Quentin Johnston had 4 catches for 104 yards and a touchdown. Dak Prescott was 21 of 30 for 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 1 sack. Joe Milton III was 2 for 2 for 11 yards. And zeros across the board. Javonte Williams had 9 carries for 34 yards, no touchdowns. And George Pickens had 7 catches for 130 yards and 1 touchdown. Final score 34-17, Los Angeles. The Vikings at the Giants. We picked the Vikings. We got it right. J.J. McCarthy was 9 for 14 for 108 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked 3 times. And I believe he left with a hand injury. Max Brosmer was 7 of 9 for 52 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked once. Aaron Jones was 21 carries for 85 yards, no touchdowns. And Justin Jefferson had 6 catches for 85 yards, no touchdowns. Jackson Dart was terrible. He was 7 of 13 for 33 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked 5 times. Tyrone Tracy Jr. had 16 carries for 71 yards, no touchdowns. And Wandale Robinson had 3 catches for 19 yards, no touchdowns. Final score 16-13, Minnesota. We had the Jets at the Saints. We picked the Saints, and we were right. Brady Cook was 22 of 35 for 188 yards, no touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked 8 times. Breece Hall had 16 carries for 54 yards, no touchdowns. And Isaiah Davis had 4 catches for 52 yards, no touchdowns. Tyler Shugg, I believe it is, was 32 of 49 for 308 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Sacked 3 times. Taysom Hill had 12 carries for 42 yards, no touchdowns. Chris Olave had 10 catches for 148 yards, 2 touchdowns. Final score 29-6. Saints. Tampa at Carolina. We picked Carolina. We were correct. Baker was 18 of 26 for 145 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was sacked twice. Bucky Irving had 19 carries for 71 yards, no touchdowns. And Emeka Egbuka had 1 catch for 40 yards, no touchdowns. Bryce Young was 21 of 32 for 191 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked twice. Rico Dowdle had 9 carries for 29 yards, no touchdowns. And Ted McMillan had 6 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. Final score 23-20, Carolina. I don't know what happened to Tampa, but they started out so hot and ended up crashing and burning. And are on the verge of missing the playoffs. The Falcons at the Cardinals. We picked the Falcons. We got it right. Cousins was 21 of 35 for 197 yards. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked 1 time. Tyler Allgeier had 16 carries for 79 yards. No touchdowns. Bijan Robinson had 7 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. Jacoby Brissett was 16 of 31 for 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was sacked twice. Michael Carter had 11 carries for 65 yards, no touchdowns. And Elijah Higgins had 7 catches for 91 yards, no touchdowns. Final score 26-19, Atlanta. The Jags at the Broncos. I picked the Broncos. And we got it wrong. And the Jags are threatening the number 1 seed in the AFC, which is kind of crazy. Lawrence was 23 of 36 for 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 5 times. Travis Etienne had 16 carries for 50 yards, no touchdowns. Parker Washington had 6 catches for 145 yards and a touchdown. Bo Nix was 28 of 47 for 352 yards, 1 touchdown, Harvey had 7 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. And Cortland Sutton had 6 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown. Final score 34-20, Jacksonville. We had the Raiders at the Texans. We picked the Texans, we got it right. Geno was 16 of 23 for 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked 3 times. Ashton Jeanty had 24 carries for 128 yards and a touchdown. He was also their leading receiver with 1 catch for 60 yards and a touchdown. CJ Stroud was 23 of 35 for 187 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Jawar Jordan had 15 carries for 53 yards, no touchdowns. Nico Collins had 4 catches for 59 yards, no touchdowns. Final score 23-21. Houston. The Steelers at my Lions. I picked my Lions, and I was wrong. But at least DK lost $45 million from punching a fan. Rodgers was 27 of 41 for 266 yards. 266 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. He was sacked twice. Jaylen Warren had 14 carries for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Gainwell had 5 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. Goff was 34 of 54 for 364 yards. 3 touchdowns, no picks. He was sacked 3 times. Demo had 4 carries for 14 yards. No touchdowns. J-Mo had 5 catches for 70 yards. No touchdowns. Final score 29-24, Pittsburgh. Sunday night we had the Patriots at the Ravens. We picked the Ravens. We were wrong. I do believe Lamar left this game hurt. Drake May was 31 of 44 for 380 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, sacked 3 times. Marty Mapu had a bunch of goose eggs. Ramondre Stevenson had 8 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs had 9 catches for 138 yards, no touchdowns. Lamar was 7 of 10 for 101 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Tyler Huntley was 9 for 10 for 65 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, sacked 1 time. Derrick Henry had 18 carries for 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Zay Flowers had 7 catches for 84 yards, no touchdowns. Final score 28-24, New England. Monday night we had the Niners at the Colts. I picked the Colts, and we were wrong. Brock Purdy was 25 of 34 for 295 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked 1 time. McCaffrey had 21 carries for 117 yards, no touchdowns. And George Kittle had 7 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown. Phillip Rivers was 23 of 35 for 277 yards. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked twice. Riley Leonard came in, went 0 for 1. No touchdowns, no picks. Jonathan Taylor had 16 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. And Alec Pierce had 4 catches for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. Final score 48-27, Niners. Week 16's in the books. The playoffs are almost worked out. There's only So we're gonna make our picks for this week. Starting off Thursday, we have the Cowboys at the Commanders. I'm gonna pick the Cowboys. My Lions at the Vikings. Last week was the first time we lost back-to-back games in the regular season since 2022. And Minnesota beat us earlier in the year. So I say we get revenge. Denver at Kansas City was no Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to take Denver. Houston at the Chargers. I'm going to take Houston. Baltimore at Green Bay. Detroit still has a chance to make the playoffs. If we win and Green Bay loses the final 2 weeks, it's unlikely, but I think Jordan Love is hurt. So I'm going to take Baltimore. Arizona at Cincinnati. I'm going to take Cincinnati. Jacksonville at the Colts. I'm going to take Jacksonville. Patriots, Jets. Take Patriots. Saints at the Titans. I'm going to take Saints. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. And I think Myles Garrett gets the record. Seattle at Carolina. I'm going to take Seattle. The battle for Florida. I'm going to take Tampa. Even though they look like a shell of themselves. Giants, Raiders. I'm going to take Giants. Eagles at the Bills. I'm going to take the Bills. Chicago at San Fran. I'm going to take the Niners. Rams at Falcons. I'm going to take the Rams. Now, let's look at the current playoff picture. I'm not going to go through all the elimination scenarios. One, because I am behind and I gotta rush this video out. This is the current NFC playoff picture. It goes Seahawks, Bears, Eagles, Bucks, Rams, Niners, Packers. Then 8 and 9 for the AFC. It's the Broncos, Patriots, Jags, Steelers, Bills, Chargers.